Hey, how's it going? Dan from Slice and Dice. It's been a while since I've done a video, but thought I'd do one on channeling sports to tank. A lot of guys have been stuffing around with these tanks lately. Tanks are starting to get really expensive, and you can still get a sports to tank for $100 on eBay or what have you, and it's in decent condition, and still be able to make a really cool custom Frisco tank. This one's for a bike we're building for the street, but it's going to look like a drag bike, so I'm putting a new tunnel in it, and I thought I'd show you guys how that's done. Okay, so this is the sports to tank. Customer brought it to me. It's in pretty good condition. Obviously you can't work on anything without stripping all the paint off, so we got the paint off. I cut the bottom out. I did this with an angle grinder. A really simple way to do it is, a lot of people would think to come in from this angle, but the countersunk just on the edge, so you can drop the blade down this way, slice along, and then you use one of your little off-cut blades, which is something like this, tiny ended one, and I come in like this just over and over again, and it makes that job really easy in that radius. Same with here. I'll do a straight cut across here, and then once I've cut it, I'll come in and shave this out. So we dropped the tank on the frame. We've risen that tunnel a good 3 inches. It used to be about there. Now obviously it's quite a bit higher, which will give the tank a really mean slam down look. This has been done just by extending the original lines of the tunnel, and I just again found something about the right radius, traced it out, and cut that out with tin snips, and then just filed it nice and clean. When you're making your tunnel, you don't need expensive presses or rollers or anything like that. I bent this over this, which is a piece of 1 3/4 pipe. I just marked dead center on both ends, and I bent that down over the top. Then once I bent that, slide the tank over the top, and I was able to mark here and then mark down here, and that gives me the line in which I fold my bottom piece for the tank. To make this bend was really easy too. I just got a piece of flat steel, clamped it over the top like so, clamp it either end, bent it up, got what I wanted. It wasn't really that hard. Then I just trimmed around the bottom, both sides. This is cold rolled 20 gauge, a lot easier to work, a lot easier to use with tin snips, doesn't crack, it's a lot more pliable. The hot rolled stuff doesn't have much give at all. I filled in the top here because we're going to put in a custom filler, and also we'll move the cap slightly to give it a custom look. I'm going to do a little bit of sheet work on top. I had to get a few dings out and things like that, but that's all pretty much normal. As far as welding, I use really thin MIG wire for welding up 20 gauge steel. I really believe that you've got to have thinner filler wire than you do material, so the MIG wire just comes on a small roll. It's cheap, it's easy. I use a TIG, and I'm only running low amps, maybe 15, 20 amps to do 20 gauge, and you can see really no distortion on that at all. It's pretty straight. I just backstitched that, and while it was still warm, hammered it flat, just keeping any distortion under control.